feel like Gordon Bombay would have taken his career to even further heights.
Everything's flashy, everything's cocaine, everything's
Fun.
Open wide for some soccer!
I don't care what your personal thoughts are at home. I care that you hate the Cowboys.
Call this college rule!
Welcome back, everybody, to the Sports Experience Podcast. Dom and Chris here, and before we begin, as always, make sure you like, follow, share, and subscribe after watching our videos, and, boost us up in that YouTube algorithm. We could sure use it. And also, if you have any suggestions for future episodes, just let us know in the comments. So without further ado, Chris, we're back on the diamond today.
That's right. We're talking Big Mac, old Mark McGwire.
Mark McGwire.
Who, for me, his career or whatever is like 3 stages. So it's almost like this first early stage of the Bash Bros where it's like cool and fun and like, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And then he really becomes the hero of baseball where he gets so much attention on it and then finally becomes the villain where it's like that was a little post-career, but it is like people are like, that sucks. This sucks. That really tarnishes all these memories I had. So it's his career, or just like what he did with baseball is just very interesting.
Well, you know what we always talk about, man of their time. This is a man of his time without the necessarily negative of his time.
That's true.
But
is a product of that, of the Royd era. And if you look at him when he was a rookie, even though he was a great hitter then.
he was still huge.
He was still huge, but it really, like, you look at him from early A's to Cardinals, you're like, that's the same guy.
Those are the same forearms?
Yes. Oh, my God, the forearms.
You only get those from a tool shed. But Mark McGwire, everybody. Mark David McGwire, born October 1st, 1963 in Pomona, California. His mom, Ginger, so ironic considering he's a ginger.
Nice.
And Dad, John, was a dentist. He had 4 brothers.
Yep.
All very large. This is basically like the California version of the Gronks.
Yeah, because they're very athletic. One of his brothers became a professional football quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So like very, very athletic family. And he did come up, like we've talked about so many of these guys, being a multi-sport athlete that was just, you could just see where it's like, oh, this guy is obviously going to play some sport at the next level.
You're a big guy. We'll find a spot for you.
We'll get a spot for you, dude.
Oh, and you have brothers?
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Was it his, Dan was a quarterback for the Aztecs when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So, instead in his first Little League at bat, he hit a home run against kids, I think, that were 2 years older than him.
Yep.
Which was absolutely insane. Was also a pitcher, and in high school could throw over 90 miles an hour, which is, oh boy.
But it wasn't the era of Ohtani where you're like, oh, this guy can hit and pitch. We're just going to let him do both. It was like, no. This guy is a monster at the plate. We're just going to figure it out and let him play,
You're
whatever.
6'5", 220. We need your bat in the lineup every day.
Every day, yes.
Every single day. No DHing either.
No.
At this juncture. He went to Damien High School in Laverne, California. Like you said, he was a golfer and he played basketball.
Yep.
Which he had to have that Happy Gilmore drive, right?
Oh, I hope so.
Just absolutely crushing the shit out of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you imagine with his body frame and his, like all of everything.
John Daly weighed the same as him. It just looked a lot different.
Just carry it different, all right?
It's jiggling. It's almost hypnotic. It's like a lava lamp. So he's drafted in the 8th round of the 1981 MLB draft by the Montreal Expos, but he does not sign.
No, he decides to go to college and meet up with
a guy we did an episode on.
Old Randy J, bird killer himself.
Bird killer. Kindergarten cop killer from fucking Half-Baked.
Yep, exactly.
I did want to go over this though. That 81 MLB draft was ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
So you had Joe Carter, I think, who went second. Then you have Ron Darling from those 86 Mets teams.
Mm-hmm.
John Elway, Tony Gwynn, David Cohn, Paul O'Neill, Fred McGriff, did an episode on him, Roger Clemens, who did not sign, Lenny Dykstra.
Jeez.
And Cecil Fielder, who did not sign.
Nice.
Which is like, that's a who's who of 90s baseball
Yeah,
players.
that's literally like an all-star lineup right there.
Oh, man. 81 draft.
Yeah.
The guy John Elway didn't even play.
No, exactly.
So he was also teammates on the USC squad with 2 NFL players,
Oh, really?
Rodney Peete and Jack Del Rio,
Yep.
oddly enough. He was the College Baseball Player of the Year in 1984. He was at USC for 3 years and a member of the 84 Olympic team.
Yeah, they ended up losing to Japan in the finals.
Yeah.
He was a great college hitter, especially in his junior and senior year. I think he hit something like 30 home runs in like 70 games. So he always has been a power hitter since Little League. I want to make that clear that it isn't just you take these
Magic
roids
beans.
and he was a fantastic hitter all throughout his career.
Oh, I mean, with a metal bat. Can you
I'll
imagine?
take a metal
calling-
bat. Oh my God.
to hit a bird like Serrano or Randy Johnson probably saw that and was like, I can do that with my arm.
That's right. I can do one better.
So, 80 good. Come around to the 84 MLB draft.
Yep.
And he is selected by the Oakland A's.
10th overall, and you could tell that he's going to be a great hitter. There was questions about his defense, but he definitely works on his defense throughout the years. And
Dude, you're in the AL.
you're in the AL.
If you're that shitty of a defender, you can DH.
Yep.
If you can rake that much.
Yep. Exactly.
So he breezes through the minor leagues.
Yes.
Because the A's, they've like come off that when Ricky Henderson was there the first time, like in the early 80s, they were pretty good. Like they made the playoffs. And then they just kind of sucked for like 4 or 5 years. This is when they're kind of sucking
And
but
they're rebuilding.
getting good players.
Yep.
So in 84, he plays for Modesto for only 16 games because obviously the season's short because he's drafted. 85, he's again with Modesto. 24 dingers and 106 ribbies.
Yep.
Just lighting it up. And he's one of those because he's like 22. So he's probably playing, like he's probably further ahead of the competition than we see some of the other guys who come up from high school.
Exactly.
So in 86, he's in AA Huntsville and AAA Tacoma. 23 dingers, 112 RBIs. And one thing about his game, which people will talk crap about certain statistical anomalies that he has, you can't teach plate discipline. He had like a 1-to-1 walk to strikeout ratio. And for someone who hit, I was going over his stats. He got like almost all of his hits were extra base hits.
Yes.
He never hit like
wasn't
singles.
He wasn't a big single guy, and he didn't have a great batting average. But you're right, where he did get walked a lot. He got on base a lot. And when he hit the ball, it was almost always doubles, triples, home runs.
Maybe not so much triples.
No,
but
you're right. There was a few triples, but you're right. Doubles and home runs were his bread and butter.
He's like Frank Thomas without the batting average.
Yep.
But the cheating. So.
Oh, the cheating.
Poor Frank. He could have hit like 900 home runs if he juiced, right?
I know.
Like,
But he would have looked ridiculous. He was already humongous. He would have looked ridiculous.
he probably would have grown a second cock.
Yes, exactly.
To be honest, if he did that. So he's called up because he was hitting 312 between double and triple A. August 22nd, 1986, to a very young A's team. Only has 18 games in his debut season, which is like, your September call-up.
Yes,
essentially.
exactly.
Like, you're finding your way. And then in 87, my God.
Which is still, because they have this, it's still officially his rookie season.
Yeah, like you can. One year, what was his nuts from the die? I think Todd Hollandsworth won Rookie of the Year once, and he played in like 3 seasons.
Yes,
before. But
yes.
it was like a game or 3 games.
Exactly.
MLB is littered with tons of guys like that.
Yep.
But in 87, and for all intents and purposes, pretty sure he's doing this clean. One of the best rookie seasons in Major League Baseball history.
Without a doubt. And you're right, where I don't think him and Jose necessarily meet up at this point. If you look at his body type, it's not juiced, if you know what I mean.
He's just a big guy, Chris.
He's just a big guy, and he hits so many home runs for a rookie. It's insane. I'll tell you what, I thought he hits 49 home runs in this season. It's a rookie record until Judge breaks it in like 17 or 16, whenever Judge did it. But it's ridiculous to think that he only, because I think he was leading the league in home runs too.
Yeah.
He was only like 7th or 8th in the MVP voting, where you're like, okay, I mean, I get he's rookie of the year, but he should be way up there.
I mean, they gave it to Ichiro, and he wasn't even a rookie. He'd been in Japan for like a decade.
Yeah.
Like when Mikey Mudds got screwed by that Soviet guy.
It's like when you see a BYU player come out and you're like, well, he's got 3 kids in the audience right now. That's what Ichiro was like, where you're like, he's been playing forever already.
He's raked everywhere he's been.
Yep.
But what I found so fascinating about this just speaks to what just a massively strong dude he is. He had 33 dingers at the All-Star break.
Yep.
He broke Al Rosen's rookie record for home runs and the MLB record of 38 set by Wally Berger and Frank Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Get the hell out of here. And the A's now, he has a friend coming up with him from the minors, Jose Canseco. I think they've got Carney Lansford now. They're about to get Dave Parker.
Yep.
I mean,
they're a really good team. I saw something, I never knew this, that Mark and Jose Canseco really did not like each other.
they didn't.
Like
No.
they really did not. It was like one of those duos where like when you're watching it, you're like, those dudes are best friends. And then you get the back and you're like, Jose Canseco hated Mark McGwire.
So you mean their baseball's Opie and Anthony?
Oh my God, exactly. You know what? Mark's the racist one.
Well, I mean, Ginger. Well, that would make him Opie, though, right?
Oh, that's true. Yes.
No, I've met Jose. He's a totally legit dude.
Yeah.
I like Jose Canseco.
Me too. It's ridiculous the heat that he got when everybody else was just doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no. We should do an episode with Jose Canseco and Roy Lee Reynolds.
Oh, my God. We should get Jose down in the basement.
In the basement? Oh, my God.
We listened to him tell stories for like an hour and a half.
That would be amazing.
And oh, God. But this is Mark's podcast.
That's right.
This is Mark's. Sorry, Jose. We'll definitely bring you on if you ever
Getting
want.
sidetracked.
I read, though, that year he had a career-high 161 hits.
Yep.
Which is like, I think Tony Gwynn would get that about 2/3 of the way through the year. But like we said, whenever he hits the ball, it goes a long way.
It goes a long way.
It goes a long way.
Yep.
So AL Rookie of the Year, unanimous. Like you said, 6th in MVP.
6th, yeah.
Which is unbelievable. They finished 500, but you can tell they're a team on the rise. And then in 88, we get probably one of the greatest regular season teams of the 20th century in Major League Baseball,
And this
being honest.
Really when the Bash brothers come into, like, this is when they're hitting forearms. Hogan's doing his thing. We're kicking the shit out of Iran. Like, this is America.
Silken hair and silken hair of a Chinese man and skin of a hot dog.
Skin of a hot dog. Oh, he's going through Hulkamania right now.
Birds of War.
Oh, man. Bring it to me.
That's why they should have had it. That's what the nickname should have been.
Oh, my. That would have been awesome.
I bet you Tony La Russa had a bucket of chestnuts in the clubhouse.
Ready to go. Oh, my boys. Does he think we're his sons?
You
Just got too excited.
you got kids, Tony?
Nah.
Those forearms, though, like you look at Canseco's forearms, that's like some over-the-top shit.
Yes.
Like, honestly, like when you're looking at these guys, and like in the 80s, I wonder what that was like, though. Like, everyone had to have known, right?
I don't think they did. It was like when Liberace came out as gay.
Really?
People were like, what?
No.
The man who dresses in all sparkles and plays piano? No. I really, and could you imagine like working out as like a regular dude and you're like, how do they get that gigantic? Because I just don't think it was.
I'd look like Liberace in comparison.
I just don't think it was in that like the zeitgeist, the whatever of people's thought that these guys were juicing. It was just like, no, these are professional athletes. This is how they look.
God.
I can't believe there wasn't more broken forearms.
Well, I mean, like it just makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
There you go.
So, 88. What more can you say? 32 dingers, 99 ribbies. The A's win 104 games.
Yeah, 104.
Which is ridiculous. They sweep Boston, which I'm sure that California plane ride had to be shitty for Bogsy.
Oh my God.
That's probably the one that he drank all those beers on.
You know what? They call him the Chicken Man.
Boss Hog?
That's right.
Big Mac hit 333 in the ALCS, had a dinger in Game 3 and 5 RBIs. And then we get a World Series against the Dodgers.
Against the Dodgers.
And one of the things about this A's team over the next 5 years is you could make the argument they should have won at least 3 to 4 World Series in this time period.
They go to 2. And a lot of people say
3.
They go to 3. You're right. They go to 3. And a lot of people say that should have been at least 2. And then they were still good. I think it was 1990. They were, or
92.
91 or
Alomar series.
Yes,
92.
they were still good in that enough where people are like going into these series. They were like the favored team. Everybody's
all of them.
This is the team that should win, and they only really won 1, which is kind of crazy. And they get destroyed against the Dodgers.
I mean,
they win 1 game because Mark
Big
McGwire
Mac wins it.
It's a walk-off home run, and you look at that series and you're like, something happens in that team where they should have won that series.
It's the Gibson home run and then the Avalanche. Because they come back in Game 3, and that was his only hit of the series.
I know.
Which is unbelievable that they were able. I mean, granted, that was the year Hershiser had 59 scoreless innings in a row, but he only pitched twice.
It's kind of crazy to think that they shut down McGwire and this A's team because the team was so good.
We got Dave Henderson and Dave Parker and Canseco and Lansford and all those guys.
I mean, McGwire was hitting 4th. Yeah. He wasn't even the cleanup. He was cleanup, but he wasn't the third. It's kind of ridiculous when you look at this lineup and how good they were.
89, they're awesome. He's an all-star again, I think the 3rd year in a row.
Yep.
They win 99 games, 33 dingers, 95 RBIs. They win the AL West again. They beat Toronto in the ALCS. He hits 389 with a dinger in Game 1 off of Dave Stieb. So they're back after a 5-game win in the World Series. And more than anything, I feel terrible for the entire region of what happened during the World Series.
Yeah. The Earthquake series.
But for the A's, this team is lost, which is kind of shitty because people remember 89 less than they do 88, 90, or 92.
Which is so weird.
But that's exactly what happened.
I know.
Is they end up sweeping them. They end up sweeping them 4 games in the World Series. And what did it hit? 294 with an RBI. It didn't matter. Or they won in 5, excuse me. And they're world champions.
They're world champions.
And they're young enough, and, McGwire's, in his 3rd, 4th year? You don't see him stopping.
No, that's the biggest thing. McGwire's young. Canseco's young. Parker's not young, but he's, in his prime.
This is when they're going to deal him in Milwaukee, though.
Yep.
So,
and it's such a weird, they're still great, but if you look 89, 90, you're like, this team should go on and win 2 or 3 more.
So during this offseason, he admitted he tried performance-enhancing drugs.
Yep.
Tried. It's like how you try Peruvian marching powder and then just no, it's not for me.
Well, there's a lot of reports about him and Jose
doing stuff in the bathroom?
Going to the bathroom. And this is not an era that's gay-friendly. So they had to be like, dude, it's not gay stuff. We're doing steroids.
Look, he's putting things in my butt that isn't his you-know-what.
That's right. It's needles in the butt, but hey.
Look, we're just getting strong, and we're going to get oiled up like beefcakes.
That's right. They're drying out over there. Come on, guys.
That might be our most quoted show.
Oh, without
easily.
A doubt. Yeah.
It's perfect. It lends itself so well to sports.
Oh my God, it's the best.
An all-star again in 90. Another 39 homers, 108 RBIs, 110 walks.
I did want to bring this up because coming into the league, people were saying defense is fine, but not great. He does win a Golden Glove in 1990.
I think he's the only one to steal one from Mattingly.
From Mattingly.
Yeah.
Because I think Mattingly won the 4 Golden Gloves before and like the 3 after. So it's literally like, oh, he really was great on defense in 1990. It drops off really solid, but it's...
First of all, that was the year Mattingly failed to shave his sideburns.
Oh, God, that still pisses me off.
Second, Big Mac, he wasn't necessarily first 5-6 years, he wasn't a liability out there. He could play his position.
Yes,
yeah.
he's not bad. That's my thing. He's not bad at all, but he's not looked at as like this 5-tool. Well, I mean, he is, but it's more of like that's the part of his game that he wants because he's one of the best hitters. Now he was like, I want to be the best hitter, the best defender, the best baseball player.
Yeah.
And this is like when it kind of peaks in that, where his defending is like, you're like, dude, you're great out there.
And I'll tell you a lot, back in those days, a lot of the sports writers would just vote for guys whose teams were in the playoffs.
Yep.
So this is when the Yankees were just historically dog shit.
Yeah.
But no, not taking anything away from Big Mac. I mean, you beat Mattingly in a Gold Glove. That's pretty awesome.
Literally when they trade Jay Buhner.
I mean, it is. I think
Ken
Phelps. Because that was the Jack Clark thing. What the fuck put this here?
Yep.
So they win 103 games. They win the AL West again. Mm-hmm. Struggles in the ALCS against Boston, but it doesn't matter because I think in Game 4, Roger Clemens got thrown out in like the first inning.
Yep.
So they go to the 1990 World Series, and they are so favored. They are so favored against Cincinnati. I remember watching Game 1 and just people talking about, like, oh, Oakland's going to sweep them. Like, it's not going to be close.
I was going to
brought
say
this up in the Davis episode, too.
They were, like, literally wondering if the Reds were even going to, like, win one game, maybe 2. That was the talk. Not even, like, it was like they're going to sweep. A's are the best team, and they just kind of fell apart.
And there were, like, weird wins. I mean, granted, in the first game, Davis set the complete and total tone with the dinger, but then they won that one in extras. Then in Game 3, when they go back to Oakland, it's like, okay, everything will get all set. And then the offensive explosion. And then in Game 4, everyone gets hurt, but it doesn't matter because Rijo pitches his second gem.
Yep.
So, like, when you see them lose in these World Series and what we'll see in these playoff series, the one we'll talk about later, it's one starting pitcher who will just completely figure them out
and shut them down.
And they can't come back from it for whatever reason. But
and all of these really ridiculously hot bats just go cold. And a lot of it,
Ricky Anderson won the MVP that year, I think.
I was going to say, they lose, and you look at the stat sheet, and you're like, the A's had 2 hits in that game. Like, it's that bad.
Yeah, it was a very, I mean, kudos to Cincinnati for bringing the heat, but like it was just a strange World Series. And Big Mac only hit 214. And then now we're entering this kind of second phase of his career where the injuries start.
Mm-hmm. And why do you think that happened?
I don't know. What could it have been? He tried stuff in the bathroom?
Stuff in the bathroom will hurt you, man.
Stuff in the bathroom will come back. Ask Tom Hanks.
Oh,
so,
man. Yeah, I had to go to rehab. I hurt my nose.
I already know I'm not going to like you.
I already know. But you're right. You start to see injuries, and 92, he wins the home run derby.
Oh, I did want to add, though, one thing about 91, because this is actually important. He hit 201, and La Russa held him out the last game of the season so he would not hit below 200.
Yep.
So we're dealing with injuries. He's having issues with his marriage. He said he did not lift a weight that offseason. Wonder what's going on. And that was the Twins' year in the AL West.
Oh, yes.
So they don't win the division. But 92, he has his comeback.
Yep.
He has his comeback. 42 dingers, 104 RBIs. Won the home run derby at the All-Star game there in San Diego. Led the AL in slugging and OPS plus. Won his first Silver Slugger as well. They win the AL West. And then
this is 4 out of 5 AL Wests.
Yeah.
And if you just think of the A's in the last decade, and you're like, God, they had it so good. This must have been prime time to be an Oakland A's fan.
Not so much anymore.
Well, they're not even in Oakland. They're playing at local high schools.
I thought it was a middle school.
Yeah.
God. But so they win the AL. They're like you know what they're like? They're like the 89 A's are like the 85 Bears.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're
heavily
just like,
favored.
Where
and
you're
they're
just like, what were you doing?
Yep.
So my daddy's, what the hell are you doing? Jesus Christ. So they go to the ALCS and they play Toronto again.
Mm-hmm.
And they lose the first two. And then they come back for game 3 and they win in Oakland. So game 4 for this series, you're thinking Toronto has a history of choking. Oakland's going to take this.
And tie the series.
It's going to be an awesome pitching versus biceps. And this is the year, too, Canseco's gone at midseason.
Oh, yes.
So, and their hottest bat in the series was Ruben Sierra, who they got from Texas for that trade.
Yep.
So they go to game 4, and you're thinking, all right, they got him on the ropes in the 9th inning, and then Robbie Alomar hits a dinger to basically win the game.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think he tied the game to send it to extras.
Okay.
But the A's lost game 4, and they lost in 6.
Yep.
And that's the end of them being competitive with Big Mac because the next couple of years, injuries, strike.
Yep.
Everything.
I was going to say, he has like a foot injury. He goes, I think, 93 and 94. He has 9 home runs in both years.
Mm-hmm.
95, he does come back and is fully healthy, fully juiced.
Yes, juiced.
But 95 is the strike-shortened season, so it's a scratch.
Yeah.
I think he actually had 39 home runs
saw
before the stoppage, and he was on pace to beat the record at that time, which was 62, which we'll get into.
There were like 6 guys
that were on pace in that season of stoppage.
And I'm pretty sure Frank Thomas was the only clean one.
Yep. Frank, you're the man.
You're the man. I don't care how few triples you hit, Frank Thomas.
I don't care that it's 0.
Swinging rebar and winning batting titles. You're like an in-shape Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, nice.
So, 95, 39 dingers and 317 at-bats.
Mm-hmm.
The A's are trying to get kind of younger and cheaper. So, in 1996, he's an all-star again, and he hits 52 home runs.
So now,
and hits 312.
It's being talked about that in this era, it looks like the record could be broken.
Yeah.
It's like,
why do you think that?
It's getting, you know what? Because a lot of guys are hitting dingers, baby.
It's expansion and it's the extra pitchers.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
No. There's something else happening.
The ballparks are small. Nah, I don't know.
I'll tell you what. Pitchers are also taking roids, and the balls are getting thrown faster, and they're leaving the park at a higher velocity.
It's all about speed is the name of
That's
the game.
what I'm trying to get at. It's the name of the game.
Oh, God. So, 96, I did want to add leads Major League Baseball and on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, and OPS plus, wins the Silver Slugger, and the A's finish in last place.
Yeah, so
in
they're
the AL West.
They're horrible, but he is raking the ball, and obviously is an asset. And this is what's crazy about sports, where you're looking at a team, and you're just like, just get better players around him, and the team's like, no, we're going to trade him and try and rebuild, which is so hard to do.
They actually, from this era, I will give them credit. It wasn't necessary. The A's made a very stupid trade with him.
Yes.
But they built that Moneyball roster over the ensuing next few seasons.
Yes.
So 97, he just keeps going. Leads Major League Baseball in dingers with 58. I think he ties Griffey that year.
Yeah.
123 RBIs. All-Star again, and at the trade deadline, July 31st, 1997, he's traded to the St. Louis Cardinals for 3 pitchers, none of whom turned out to be viable major leaguers.
Nope.
So good on you, Oakland.
I was just going to say 3 pitching prospects who didn't really make it out of AAA, which is kind of ridiculous when you look at
just a whole bunch of toasters.
Just what happens in 98 with just the revenue that he brings into the Cardinals. It's kind of crazy.
Cardinals baseball.
Baseball, but 98, it's literally 1 year after it, and you're like, if you're an A's fan, you're just like, we couldn't hold on to this guy for 3 shitty pitchers.
Oh,
it's
God.
crazy.
I did want to bring up, though, there was a lot of speculation because this was a contract year for him
Yep.
when he's traded. So the A's really didn't have a choice. They kind of just had
Because-
to. It's like they had to get rid of him or they get nothing because he'd leave as a free agent.
And I saw him say something about this. He was like, I didn't want to leave Oakland, but I needed to be on like a team that wanted to win right then because I'm in my prime.
Yeah.
I'm taking all this extra stuff and it's going to have diminishing returns. So I need to capitalize on this now.
Jeez. I mean, it's what he did, right?
Yes.
I saw, though, that there were rumors that he wanted to go back to California.
Yes, because
He apparently convinced Jim Edmonds to stay in St. Louis with him.
because he gets traded to the Cardinals. He still has that contract that's 1 year. So he could have played with the Cardinals for that year and then came back to whoever, the Giants, the Pod. You know what I mean?
Padres don't have that kind of money at that time.
Oh God, no! But that's what the rumor was. The Dodgers, like,
Oh, yeah, definitely
it
the
was
Dodgers.
definitely looked at as like he's a California kid. He's played in California his whole career. I don't think they're going to keep him in St. Louis. And he was like, no, I love it in St. Louis. It's a baseball crazy town, and we're kind of viable at this point.
That's the thing is like that's what the town's based on. So
Yes.
like I mean I'm sure like if you sent him to Montreal he'd be like they're not even a team.
Exactly.
So 98 the Cardinals are a barely over 500 team, but my God, and baseball, as if you didn't know, was still reeling from that 94 strike, and they need asses back in seats. And what better way to put asses in seats than dingers?
And when this is happening in this 98 season, so it's called the chase. Him and Sosa are chasing the record, and they're like neck and neck.
I thought they were chasing to see whose testicles could shrink more.
That too.
Okay,
It's a different record,
different record.
different judges. You know that.
Chasing to see who could have fairer skin, considering Sammy Sosa's Pepto-Bismol-like appearance now.
Oh, he looks really good.
He looks like a mime.
But the steroid stuff is starting to come out. So this is the year that, I forget what the sports writer's name is, sees a bottle of pills in Mark McGwire's locker
Yeah.
and just writes the name down and then finds out later it's not a banned substance by MLB, but it's literally banned by NFL, NBA, the Olympics, literally
Andrew Steenderone or whatever.
Yes, every other like professional sports league is like, no, you can't take this. And then the guy contacts the Cardinals to
Yeah.
be like, hey, I saw this in his locker. I'm writing a story about it. Would you guys like to comment? And they were like, he can't even spell that word.
Yeah.
So he's not taking those. It was such and a lot of people thought the sports writer shouldn't have been writing this stuff, but he's like, I'm just reporting on what I'm seeing.
No, here's the thing. You know how we talk about 90s concussions in the NFL? Let's talk about 90s drugs banned in the NFL. Do you realize how messed up something must have been or how potent it must have been if the NFL in the 90s said, no, we don't want you taking that?
Exactly.
Like-
the NFL is literally like, that's too much, guys.
Look, we're going to overlook lots of concussions, but like even this is unsafe.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. But what was his name? Steve Wilston, I believe, was the AP writer. But 98, it's a magical year.
It is.
It's magical for baseball.
I remember watching it.
The Padres went to a World Series. I mean, that's not magical.
If that's not magic, I don't know what
World
is.
Series wasn't so magical, but still.
I was just gonna, still can't get one.
No, God, no. But he starts off, like, he starts pulling away from Griffey in July, but then Sosa starts to kind of get after him.
Yep.
Get after him in the home run chase. And then on September 8th, you're thinking he's finally going to break Roger Maris's 61. September 8th, 1998, they're playing the Cubs. Busch Stadium, Steve Traxel on the mound, and smacks one over the left field fence to hit his 62nd dinger of the year.
Yeah, to break the record, and they still have a bunch of games to play.
And he keeps hitting them.
And he keeps hitting them, and so does Sosa.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the thing that was so exciting about this was it wasn't just like second to last game, he hits one over and he beat it, but he crushed this record.
To be fair to Aaron Judge, he hit his, I think, in the last regular season game, but I don't think he pissed hot.
No.
No.
Not once.
Not once. That year, finishes the year with 70 dingers, 147 RBIs, an MLB leading 162 walks. Unbelievable.
I was going to say, so he is getting intentionally walked a ton.
He's the first player, I read this, and that's what blew my mind, to have more RBIs than hits in a season.
Yep. It's insane.
Oh.
You can't deny, and this is what I mean when I said he was raking ever since he was a kid.
That was in 99.
Oh, in
excuse me.
99.
But
okay.
still, that's ridiculous.
But, I mean, he got a little extra help, but you're still like, this is peak baseball, and which is why I feel like steroids should be mandatory. Not even like
They should have a strictly steroid league.
oh my God, I would love
Just
that.
everyone juiced up. Granted, I don't think the career expectancy would be very long, but my God.
No, you're 4 or 5 years, and then the injuries start coming.
I want John Rocker to play again. Or at least Danny McBride. Those roided out press conferences are going to be the best.
Oh my
right?
God, they would be so good.
So, John, how do you like playing in New York?
Well, I'll tell you what I like about Jew York or whatever Kenny Power says.
He was like, Jew York?
Yep, so good.
So, in 99, he hit 65.
And I want to say this. He has 2 seasons back to back where he hits more home runs than like anybody before. Like 70 and 65 for back-to-back seasons is just insane.
And I think in our Sosa episode, he had 3 different seasons where he hit over 60.
Yeah, I think he went 3.
Which is like,
and they were back-to-back-to-back.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You mean that skinny guy who used to play for the Rangers?
Thank you. Exactly.
I mean, at least in Mac's case, you were like, all right, he's a very large man.
Yes,
but
it almost felt, and this is what I mean, where people like suspend disbelief, where they're almost just like, no, like he's been working out. This is what a professional athlete looks like, and you're like, no, dude, this is insane.
It's like when the mob, after a heist, start buying a bunch of shit like in Goodfellas.
Exactly.
What are you, stupid or something?
It's that pink Cadillac.
Oh, God. So, 2000, 2001, now we're getting to the end of his career because now he's in his late 30s.
And it's really heavy in the injuries, where it's one of those things where his defense starts to be really bad. His hitting really starts to decline. And they said, like, and this is what I feel like happens a lot with guys that do roids. We're not saying he did. We're not saying McGwire did them.
No.
But they drop off so heavy.
It's like a cliff.
It's like a cliff where you're just like, oh, this guy's done. We're done with him. We'll sign him for, because I don't even think they wanted him for 2001, but they were like, he sells so many jerseys. We'll keep him on.
So by the end, like literally, I think they kept him around those years to get to 500.
Yes.
Home runs, number 1. Number 2, I think by the 2000 postseason, Will Clark was playing first base.
Yes.
For them in the postseason against Atlanta. He was an all-star in 2000, had 61 dingers over those 2 years, barely plays in any of the playoff series in the next 2 years that the Cardinals make. So, like, they're going in a completely different direction, which you'll see them win a couple of World Series later, but he's done.
He's done.
He's done and he's old. But at this time, 2001... he's everybody's favorite. He's the man who saved baseball with Sammy Sosa. He's a hero.
I was just going to say, so it's this thing, the strike really killed him. 94, 95, it put such a black eye on baseball. 98, it really is this resurgence of popularity of baseball in America, where it's like it was the chase, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, then we get Barry Bonds coming through. Like it is such a it was must-see TV for, like, I feel like the last time baseball was that.
2001, his last year, that was the Bonds 73.
Yep.
And then you started seeing other guys putting up numbers that were just ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Well,
I'll say this: I think it was his 70 70th home run. That baseball sold for $3 million. And then what we're about to talk about, which is the trial and his downfall, I think it sold in like 2015 for $250,000.
Oh, even a quarter?
Which
I would have bought him like a Arby's.
But that's the thing. It's such a, people look at it as such a like a, you tricked us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like his popularity declines so much.
On one hand, though, it's like you tricked us, but like you got eyes, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean, I get it. You wanted asses back in seats to win over people, but like, come on.
Well, MLB knew. That's the biggest thing. And this is literally since they've been a league. They'd rather live in shit than work a shovel.
As you've always said, I love it. It's
the quote for MLB for me, because they literally are like, we know this is bad. We're just going to deal with the repercussions later. Like, that's it. That's all. We're not punishing these guys. We're promoting them. It's crazy.
You better go somewhere else when the sun hits Diaper Hill, MLB. So did want to bring up before we get into the congressional shit. Finished his career with 583 dingers. 36% of his career hits were home runs.
That's
I did the math. I was like, because I saw that on the paper, the hits next to the home runs, and I'm like, oh, just what is that percentage-wise? And my God, 1,414 RBIs, 12-time All-Star, won 2 World Series, one as a player, one as a coach, which we'll get into, 3 Silver Sluggers, a Gold Glove, and Rookie of the Year, and you're thinking, okay, when 2007 comes around, he's a first ballot Cooperstown guy, and he's beloved. He saved baseball.
And then
2004, Jose Canseco's book comes out.
Literally what I was about to say.
Because
Juiced, baby.
Doing stuff with, look, Mr. Mac, we're going to tell you made us put stuff in our butts, and then you're going to eat us and have stuff full of our butts.
It's such a damning book that Congress literally came out and they're like, okay, we have to talk to these guys about this.
Canseco's has had a bit of a history of like stretching the truth, but
yes,
in regards to this book, I've read this book. The detail he has with naming names and people after the fact that it came out who were outed or outed themselves, maybe a little more true than people who don't like Jose thought it was.
Yes.
So
very much it. I feel like when it first got released, they're like, God, can you believe this? Whatever, trying to like take down our heroes. And then you kind of look at it and you're like, oh, almost everything he talked about was true.
Yeah, like, I mean, the one thing that nobody brings up is when after he left Oakland and went to Texas and you see those players like Palmeiro, who's Ivan Rodriguez is linked. You're still of that belief, and all of those guys. But, you know, we'll see, and, you know, we get into the Bonds thing, and we can do that later. But by 2005, because the book makes such a splash, and guys have either started admitting it or, like, the suspicion's just too high.
Yes.
Like, because the Mitchell report came out in 2003 that the guys wouldn't get penalized, but if you pissed hot, you were on a list. Big Papi was on that Mitchell report list.
Yep.
Like, let's just say not a lot of people were doing it clean at the time.
No, which I'm going to say again, Frankie, Mr. Thomas, because he's like literally one of the only guys. I think him and Ken Griffey Jr.
I'll give you another guy who is clean, who should be in, who got screwed, or who should be in but got screwed. He had almost like a McGriff career without the fanfare. Carlos Delgado.
Oh, yeah.
Of that era.
Yeah.
'Cause I think he's in like the 470s.
Yeah.
And he just played on some dog shit teams. But regardless, we're 2005 here, March 17th, so St. Patrick's Day, 2005, the congressional hearings, and Mark does nothing to help himself when he takes the stand.
He sounds like such an asshole.
Such a guilty asshole.
Yes. Yes. Because he says stuff like, I took it to try and recover from injury, which was like what guys would say.
No, that was the Costas interview.
Oh, that was early. Yes.
That was
you're
later.
Right.
The congressional hearings, he said, I'm not here to talk about the past.
That's it.
And I live in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty, and you're like, bro, Come on.
You
could have been like The Simpsons. You could have just told everyone, look over here while I hit some dingers.
Yes.
But you didn't. You didn't do it, Mark. You fucked yourself. And after that, public narrative changed, the only one who was more embarrassed was when Palmeiro went, I have not used steroids.
Yes.
Period. Oh, and then look who gets suspended a month later.
He's still playing. He's not as big of a star. Like, that was the thing about McGwire and Sosa and Bonds, was it was this era of, like, even if you weren't a baseball fan, you knew them. You know
it was part of the zeitgeist.
Yes. So it was more of like, obviously he did it. He's not coming true. He's not being truthful with it. And it kind of taints this memory we've all had of that 98 season.
Oh, those forearm smashes. That makes me sad. So like you had brought up before, on January 10th, 2010, because by this point, the sports writers aren't voting him into the Hall of Fame. He's gone year after year, I think 3 or 4 years in a row, not even sniffing.
No, he's not. I was going to say he's not even close.
And people are wondering, like, wow, that's because he was really the first big name out of retirement that the sports writers said of this era, fuck all.
Yeah.
And they toyed with some guys who were like we talked about, Pudge Rodriguez, Jeff Bagwell. I almost assuredly think that dude juiced.
Yep.
When you look at how that body type changed, come on, man. But I'm not here to talk about the past. So he goes and talks to Bob Costas in this interview in 2010, and Costas got salty with him.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, McGwire only admitted to steroid use because of injuries, not performance enhancing, but recover from it, which people do.
I was going to say
people do.
That is true, but if you just keep using it even when you're healthy, and your forearms become the size of my leg,
yeah, right.
There's something wrong there.
Did he not have one of just the best swings though for a power hitter?
Yes,
just kind of squat and then just fast. When I remember he hit one off Randy Johnson at the Kingdome that hit the back of the Kingdome. It was just like, that's what happens when you hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yes,
with that type of bat speed and power, because it's speed.
Speed's name, and people said this too about the roids. They were like, you see them getting more powerful, but a lot of it is the ability to swing that bat faster, which then makes balls travel 20 yards more. You know what I mean? So like maybe some pop flies wouldn't have left the park, like that kind of stuff.
Definitely. And then he goes on and he's a hitting coach.
Yeah,
for the multiple teams.
For the Cardinals, for the
Dodgers, Padres. Didn't help,
No.
but, like you can't use performance-enhancing drugs anymore. Well, I mean, you probably can, but you just got to get the right ones.
That's right.
But it's crazy to look back on this now because it's like 20 years ago.
I know.
When it was so, like, when you remember it, you're thinking, like, that couldn't have been that long ago.
It was 25 years ago. Well, I mean, when it happened.
Yeah,
you know?
but the congressional hearings and all that stuff and, like, the fallout, and baseball's not the same anymore.
Nope.
Not in terms of popularity, not in terms of anything else. And we've finally reached now with, Bonds and Clemens no longer being eligible for the Hall of Fame. That's it of that group.
Yeah.
Like, we've reached the end. And now it's just arguments about dudes. Not, did they do steroids? Did they not do steroids? How much of a role did it play in their success? How nice were they? And that's the other thing. He was decent to the media. It wasn't like he was Barry Bonds.
Yeah, exactly. He was okay. He was a player that the MLB wanted to push as like their star, and it just backfires. And that's it's almost like baseball recovered from the strike, and now like they had this like huge resurgence, and then they were like, oh, we're never going to recover from the steroid era to what it was.
No, and I think after 26 there's going to be a labor stoppage.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which is salary cap and all that
insane.
Which is like, what did Daniel Tosh say? Baseball, you're one strike away from becoming soccer. Which, I mean, is completely accurate when you look at the way the game is played now and the popularity of it.
Yep.
But Big Mac, for one super duper season, was king of baseball.
King of baseball.
And almost saved it.
Literally almost did, but you know
So
what?
close. I'm not here to talk about the
We
past.
talked about the past.
the past.
Mark McGwire.